The Rockford Symphony Youth Orchestra welcomed spring with a free concert Sunday at the First Lutheran Church. The concert brought together the 15 students of the Sterling String of the Honor Chamber Orchestra, along with their conductor, Link Smelser. Julie Thomas is the Rockford Symphony Orchestra Executive Director. She says it is important for these students to get the recognition they deserve.
It's really important that when there is a performance that the students have an audience, and that it is, it's one thing to rehearse in an empty room with just your peers and your conductor or your teacher, but it really does help to inspire kids that they are playing and someone is clapping and appreciating what they're doing.